part that piqued my interest is you're saying they enter the lottery more than once.
They do.
So,
Well, they don't. They have family members that do. One person doesn't, in alcohol, one person doesn't enter the mix more than once. But they may have somebody from their whole family with the intent to only open one store. So you might have people, if husband and wife both get it, they may try to go for it. But we've had some where the husband, wife, and 3 sons all enter the lottery. And some have withdrawn as we go along because they just wanted one store to begin with. And that moves the next person up that was in line to go before the board.
Did Florida get sued because they did a lottery?
Florida got sued. There are a few lawsuits. One of them was about a waiver granted to one cultivation facility that other applicants claimed they should also have received. I don't have the full information on the specifics of those claims, but it was related to qualifying the qualifications of the facility. We can update you next time on the specifics of that litigation.
Please.
Yeah.
I think that's somewhat inevitable. And the question is, I would rather, if they're gonna sue us, I'd rather sue us because we're making a choice to tell them no or something like that. That's why I like.
Because they didn't have the qualifications, or
Right.
didn't have a good application.
It's a lot harder, they feel like they've got a lot more right when they've come through a lottery and now we're having to say no, but for these reasons. That seems more punitive than saying, you didn't get the score on the front end.
So, just playing scenarios here. Senate Bill 254 gets passed, and dispensaries can't cultivate. Then is the preference to go back to the lottery or stay with merit?
Can we change the rules based on changing in the agreement?
Well, I would think
Well,
they're all draft rules until then.
Right.
if you put the rules out for public comment, you go through the process, and then the amendment changes by legislation that says dispensaries can't grow, dispensaries can't grow. You would have to take it back through, then you change the rules, you'll have to take it back through the rulemaking process.
If we make certain that it references growing as authorized in the medical marijuana amendment and the amendment is amended to remove that, the rules may be able to be in effect as required by their timeline without that provision. If we bootstrap the growth to the requirements in the amendment, which they then strip out, there wouldn't be the
30 days.
support for the rules that say they grow. And then you can amend the rules later, but still have effective rules to avoid being sued under the you have to have final rules adopted measures of this amendment.
I like that a lot.
So I guess where I stand is if it was purely dispensaries, then do we stay with the lottery system? We don't know that yet. I do like the merit system on the cultivating dispensaries. The question is, which way do we have it today? If the rules change, what are our options?
I prefer that we lottery the dispensaries if there's, if it's a low, if
Right.
if we're worried about an additional price point and regulations of growth, then I'd rather lottery that.
Even with cultivation?
Not with cultivation.
No.
I think
That's the problem.
we'll
I
have
mean,
a
everybody's
set number
okay
of
with lottery dispensaries, but we can't, we
Yeah,
got
we
dispensaries.
can't decide that right now.
Yeah.
We've just got to have one full process today and then possibly change it depending on what the outcome of the legislation is. And that's what I'm asking is.
So the
we
question
leave it
on
like
the
this,
table
see what
is what do we
happens,
want to do with
change it.
dispensary cultivation? That's the only question.
I would merit cultivation. I would lottery the dispensaries and see what legislation comes down and then come back and modify it.
But how are you
But right now,
how are you gonna draw the
yeah,
line?
there's no difference between those two as far as,
Right now, I probably wouldn't draw the line. I mean, it sounds like it's difficult for us to draw the line. I mean, based on the way the amendment was set up.
If it's
Do it
set
on the
up,
back end.
at this point, you've created these two, and you've told them on the front end that, I think where this becomes difficult, if you keep it all the lottery, we don't do lottery for just straight dispensary, merit lottery for grow. You've told them on the front end, if you're choosing to grow, which you designate on the front end, we're gonna ask you for certain criteria and proof that you've done certain things. That's where the hearing becomes important, because if they've told you they want to be a cultivating dispensary and they come into your hearing and they don't have any experience whatsoever or no one on staff, that could potentially be a basis for you to deny them the permit.
So then it ends up ultimately being, it's application lottery.
It is.
It's application lottery, then
Right.
we're reviewing everything that, but we don't have to review the stuff that gets to the lottery.
You're not treating them differently to start.
I said, but other than the criteria is different, because we've
The
established
criteria
it,
is
and if they don't hit criteria,
Right.
which basically ends up being a merit issue.
My only problem with that is, if we've got the list of people, right, 1 through 6, they're sitting here. 1, we don't know who's next, right? So if we say you're not good enough, it's who's next. And so it turns into a consideration of, do you meet minimum requirements versus being the top of the field? And that's the difference.
But it's weighted because they are meeting all the requirements in a dispensary, if that's what they're going for.
It'll be way easier to meet those minimum
Yeah.
requirements on dispensary.
You're
That's
not
my
So
point.
comparing
it
the
kind of
two.
goes to, like I was saying earlier, then those guys pretty much, they hit the lottery, barring in just an atrocious application, they're in. If you're gonna cultivate, obviously there's gonna be more criteria, so there's gonna be more scrutiny. You might not get through, and then we're back to
But
the
you'll
lottery.
still be number 2 if you made the lottery.
Yeah.
And then if you weren't number 2, if you didn't make it, then the next person would.
Right, but I guess it's the fundamental difference, are you good enough? The question would be, to me, that's are you good enough game versus are you the best game? And I'm advocating and moving that we go merit, so we're picking the best versus saying you're good enough, if that makes.
I lean to that more with the cultivation because it's such a larger financial undertaking and it'll be the underpinning of the market. If we don't have product, there's nothing to sell, the market fails. So the cultivators, to me, if we were gonna see a business failure, obviously I'd rather see no one fail, but I'd rather see a dispensary fail than a cultivator fail. Because it's a bigger undertaking and all the dispensaries, particularly if they're not growing, I mean, they're relying on the cultivators to be successful. So if we set up bad cultivators and they fail, then by default, all the dispensaries will fail. So I think I think we are smart to put the cultivators on a higher judgmental pedestal. We have 32 dispensaries. If 3 or 4 of them failed, well, that sucks, but we got 28 more selling, and we still have the product line going. So I do think there's a huge difference between the two businesses. The cultivators, yeah, if they fail, the whole market fails. If 2 or 3 dispensaries fail, okay, back to lottery and someone else takes over and finds a business that can work. So I think the merit on a pure cultivator, because they're gonna provide the majority of the product, regardless of the dispensaries are going on, requires more of a merit look on our part, whereas the others, I'd like to keep more opportunity open for as many just entrepreneurs in the state of Arkansas. And I don't care if we necessarily get the best on a dispensary. I want the opportunity for the people, but we need the best on the cultivators. I agree with that, but I think the dispensary, we can afford a few of them fail if it happens. But that opens the market to more people by,